RRR is one of my favorite movies of the year so far. I have seen it 3 times in theaters and it was worth every time. One of the best things about the film is that it has not left my mind at all. I find myself thinking about particular scenes and imagery from the film that left me bewildered. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about why the song Naatu Naatu works. Before it was released on YouTube, one of my main reasons for rewatching the film in theaters was just to be able to witness that song once again. But before I get to that, I'm going to be briefly talking about a major portion of the songs in Indian commercial movies. I personally am not a huge fan. There's always a nightclub like setting, irrespective of the kind of film. The setting does not at all feel like a part of the film's diegetic universe. Diegetic in cinema typically refers to sound or music that exists within the world of the film that can be experienced by the characters residing in it. But getting back to the dance songs, I also find their editing to be detrimental to the overall song. The countless number of cuts does not allow us to see the dance in its entirety. To me, poor editing can break the momentum of the dance. The cuts are quick and on the beat, trying to maintain the attention of the viewer rather than letting us see a performance as a viewer. And even the cuts are unmotivated. There are no good reasons as to why the cut was an editing decision and what purpose it serves in terms of the narrative of the dance. Plus, the abrupt timings of these songs spawning out of nowhere, disrupting the actual story is genuinely infuriating. The use of the camera too feels senseless. It is a mere recording tool, nothing more, nothing less. These dance songs provide little value in terms of the medium of film and the medium of dance and music. Now, of course, this does not apply to every single dance song. Others like what is being presented to them, and there is nothing wrong with that. But there are greater artistic standards to be achieved. Which now brings me to S.S. Rajamouli's RRR. There are a few reasons as to why the now famous song Naatu Naatu works. Other than factors such as how the music itself is great and how it edits on the beat to provide an adrenaline rush, one reason why it works is because it is part of the film's diegetic universe. It does not appear arbitrarily with no reason. It begins at a legitimate point in the screenplay. Our protagonists, Ram and Bheem, are invited to a party by the Britisher Jenny, and Bheem finds himself getting bullied by a fellow racist Britisher. That's when his friend Ram comes to his rescue, and thus begins the dance. The dance takes place in the diegetic universe of the film. The characters aren't suddenly transported to an obscure place where they dance. Ram and Bheem dance within the confines of the English palace, where they are in the story. The use of the camera is purposeful. It glides and rotates, matching the energy and ferocity of the performers. Even a barely noticeable dolly zoom is used to great effect. But it isn't afraid to hold down a shot for a little long when it needs to. When performing the main step, we see the actors in a wide shot. The camera isn't just a recording device. Everyone is performing for and with respect to the camera. Another reason why it works is because the dance song itself is a story of its own, with its own beginning, middle, and end. The whole film RRR is about India's struggle against the British, and so this song captures their struggle through song and dance. Ram and Bheem share immense energy dancing to overpower the British. Later, when the racist Britisher himself begins to dance to Naatu, he begins to play their game and tries to beat them at it. But Ram and Bheem together defeat him, showing how Indians came together to claim victory over the British. It condenses the Indian struggle within the narrative of the dance. And it might be a simple thing, but I just love how first Ram and Bheem give a brief tutorial to the English women on how to perform the step, indirectly also mentoring us in a way on how to do the step, so we can perform along with them. And second, we see the people actually suffering cramps from repeatedly performing the step. It's simple, but it grounds the film in a way because it is also what happens to us when doing the dance. But this is also creatively incorporated because the leg cramp is what allows us to see who is winning the dance battle, which is basically the narrative of the song. Now, once the Britisher is defeated, the song isn't over yet. The dance stops being about the overall British struggle and becomes more personal. There are two contenders left, Ram and Bheem, foreshadowing their eventual enmity just through a damn song. And even the filmmaking here is pure genius. They share their victory over the Britishers' defeat. They're evenly framed, they're equals, and when they realize they have to compete with each other, they recognize it just through a glance. Both of them occupy the center of the frame. Everyone else is blurred out. Now the dance battle just boils down to these two, and the blocking and staging complement that. Now, to decide who wins, Ram notices that Jenny, the girl Bhim has feelings for, is rooting for Bhim. We see the two contenders facing the center of the frame, looking at each other again. But this time, it is not with the intention to compete. Ram looks at Bhim with compassion. We know what he's thinking just through his eyes and the camera angle. And he decides to lose on purpose, so that his friend could win. And it's a beautiful moment because it strengthens their relationship and makes me care about them even more. But knowing how the story goes, I know it is going to break my heart eventually when they go against each other. It's a bittersweet moment, and I love that about it. It doesn't entirely tell me how to feel, it allows me to do that myself. Naatu Naatu isn't just something that was created to sell tickets and to be played at party songs. It's a story about the film's plot condensed in a dance song where it feels like an actual performance is being conducted. The excellent filmmaking allows us to see the effort taken by the dancers, and the editing gives plenty of room to showcase their talent. Now, of course, the song and dance steps are a banger. I've lost count as to how many times I've listened to it, but there are many reasons as to why it works, and this is why. Thank you all for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and comment down below where we can have a conversation. Check out the other videos on the channel if you're interested. Thank you again for watching and have a wonderful day.